Hey guys! You remember last time? Maybe not last time. When did I do that? There was a video I made recently. Did I post that yet? Anyway, I'm gonna call you guys Jera Bears. What's up, Jera Bears? Okay, today we are talking about your sentimental items and minimalism and how to deal with that. Get rid of that, not get rid of that. All that. Okay, sentimental items. When people start doing minimalism, they always get so freaked out because you're like, I have this stuffed animal I will never get rid of. Like, this minimalism is just insane. Like, there's things I just won't get rid of because they're so sentimental to me and all this stuff. I can't get rid of that. I can't get rid of that. I can't. And that's fine. That's not what minimalism is forcing you to get rid of. But as you get rid of the other things, you'll understand that the sentimental things become things that you can let go of, because if they are from people that are still presently in your life and you can spend time with in your life, then you realize you should be doing that. You should be spending more time with those people instead of just holding on to this thing that somehow ties you guys together. Instead of holding on to this, like, let go of that and then grab their hand and go do a new experience with them. If they're not here, then that's even harder, because if, say, your grandpa passed away and you have something from when you were a kid and your grandpa gave it to you, you might never ever want to get rid of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's completely okay, because that piece of, say, that toy that he gave you, like, it means something to you and it brings you a great amount of happiness, a great amount of joy. So thus, you keep it. It's worth it. It's worth your time. It's worth your energy to make sure it's okay, it's safe, it has a roof over its head. But if you are wanting to downsize the sentimental items, you can, and there is a process in doing that. So one of the things I have found is you take a photo of the sentimental item and then you store it on your computer, like, these are my precious items. Then you know you have some form of that thing. And I have all my sentimental items right now. They all fit into this little envelope-y thing I got. One next to ship buttons. So all my stuff fits in here, and even this, I'm looking through this now and I feel more okay to get rid of some of this stuff. And what's crazy is I'll show you some of the stuff. Not a lot in it. There's like pictures of me when I was a kid. And I don't know, there's something about these. 2 years old here. Going for cookies. Explains a lot. Kindergarten. There's pictures of me that I don't want to get rid of because that's the only photo of that. Like, that wasn't a digital photo. Like, that's the real photo. That's it. There's no more negatives. The negatives gone, and it's scary. It's because, like, I don't really remember some of those things. So it's a scary thing because you feel like you're, like, giving away part of yourself. You can't remember it. Just photos. First roller coaster. My dog Misha when she was puppy. And I did lose her, so that's why that's hard to get rid of. And then I have, like, postcards from when we went to, like, Paris. I have, like, some of my art. Some more of my art. Just random stuff. Like, I've given all of my art away when I started doing all this minimalism stuff, and even before that I just didn't like having it around. I wanted it to be somewhere. I wanted it to enlighten somebody's life or something. So I gave most everything I made away. Or sold it. And then postcard from when I went to Japan, because it was the first time I ever made it out of the country. And then this is from Japan. It's my favorite place in Japan, Shimakitazawa. Just a weird little postcard, no idea. But I like it. And then one of my movies that I can't rip because I'm on a computer. And one more painting of Misha. She used to sit on the chair like that. So I do have some things that I keep. They take up very little space. But it took me a long time to get to that point. So I would take a picture of it, keep it around, and then be like, okay, now do I feel okay with this? And revisit that, like, say, every couple months. So you're not just like, oh, tomorrow, like, do I feel okay with that? Let me just get rid of that. I had things that I had this stuffed animal that I had since I was a kid named Draggly that I carried around with me up until like I think last year, and I had him in the donation pile so many times and I pulled him back out a bunch of times because I just was like, I can't send him off somewhere that's not good. And now I don't even remember where he ended up going. Poor guy. But anyway, so there are things that like it'll just take time to get rid of, and some of the feelings you have are inexplicable and some are not. And there are also some of the sentimental items you keep that, like, say gifts from friends that they give you, say like they're kind of a joke. Always get rid of those. You don't have to keep those. Like, that's the fun of it. It's a joke. It's supposed to be funny, and if you're not using it, it's fine. Just get rid of it. It's okay. Your friend is not going to be like, oh my god, you got rid of all this stuff. And if they do, like, maybe they're not the best friend, because why does it matter about things? Especially if you're like, I'm going through this process, I'm doing this and that. They should be supportive, correct? Yes. Okay, so when is the right time to start getting rid of your sentimental items? I would say if you are starting this, you have gotten rid of a lot of your excess, you don't have extra storage units full of stuff, and you are starting to notice that these things are just sitting in a box somewhere. You're not really even looking at them, not using them. They don't have a function. They're not like plates or dishes that you can use all the time. They are not being out and displayed where you actually do see them all the time. Then you need to start going through it and looking through that stuff and figuring out, do I need to hold on to all these things? You know, take those pictures, like make peace with it. And it's not about letting go of your past. It's about like accepting that your past isn't here and you're letting go of this physical item that, and essentially, if you were to die tomorrow, would be meaningless to somebody else, and in some ways a burden to somebody else, that they'd be like, oh, what would they want me to do with this? Or they would just throw it away, or they would feel like they needed to store it. So that's why I try to have not too much stuff, because what's gonna happen to my stuff after I'm gone? Like, if it was so special to me, I would like to have dealt with it in my way and gotten rid of it, then somebody else do it. Because if they just trash it, what was all that effort I put into it for? I don't know, you're allowing yourself to be more present, more right now, and make more awesome, wonderful memories, instead of just dwelling on the past and living there and focusing on all that. Because focus on the now and make this new stuff and just keep collecting new memories and new stuff and doing new things and making new friends and new memories with old friends and all that sort of thing. Because when you get rid of the things, like, you are not your stuff. Okay, this picture, if I throw this away, I even have this, I have this scanned, I have it photographed, whatever, I have it backed up, and I've still had a hard time getting rid of it, because like, this is like so cute. But this isn't me. If I throw this away, I'm not throwing it away. I'm still here. Yeah, and actually I was actually pretty prepared to get rid of most of these things. I was looking at this as I got asked to do this video, and I thought, wow, I've grown a lot this past year from when I put all these things in this folder or this envelope, that I feel more okay. I'm like, I don't need these things. I've made so many amazing, wonderful memories this past year that this stuff has become more meaningless to me. It's kind of cool. So it takes steps in the right direction. The first steps are getting rid of the less meaningful items. And then you get to the meaningful items. When you get to the meaningful items, don't get rid of your most precious thing right away. Get rid of stuff that you feel a little bit more okay of. Or if you have multiple things from your high school graduation, you can get rid of the couple of them and then just save the one item instead of having 3 items. Or for any of those events, if you have multiple things for the same event, obviously get rid of those things. Pick the best one and then get rid of the other things. And then as you start just like lightly whittling everything down, it gets easier and easier. And it's not about having nothing, no things. If you do get there, that's awesome too. But it's more about you just keeping the things, is that everything in your life is more meaningful, instead of it being so meaningless that it sits in a box in your closet. Yeah, just like your stuff is these sentimental items are so important, but yet you never look at them or see them. And lastly, like knowing what to keep. I would say if it's physically too much for you to be able to lift at one time, it's probably too much stuff. Not all of that stuff can possibly mean that much. So like if it doesn't all fit in like a suitcase and you can lift it, you're probably hoarding onto a bit too much. And if you ever need to get motivated to get rid of stuff, watch an episode of Hoarders. All those people think all that stuff in their house is so meaningful and they don't want to get rid of it. And look at it, destroys their lives. So just destroys their lives, their houses, they kill animals, so many things, they ruin their family, and over this trauma of not wanting to get rid of these things, of these events. So there's, you know, watch an episode of Hoarders and it makes things go a lot simpler, smoother, and easier, and you really are like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Because everybody could potentially become a hoarder. It's very easy nowadays. Things are so cheap, there are plentiful things out on the street for free. Be careful. And if you have a traumatic event, that's just some weird trigger that happens, and it can happen. So if you already are more mentally stable because you deal with your emotions a little better because you're okay, not being so attached to these items, you're more mentally okay and emotionally okay, then if something traumatic does happen to you, it's not going to destroy your life and all that. So I hope you guys have found this video useful and helpful, and if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so I know. Comment in the comment section below, and if you're new here, subscribe. Alright, Jera Bears, it's been fun, but I gotta go.